Hi, I'm Tara Green. I'm Agent 129 for the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, and I'm here to bring you a new feature where I'm going to be combining tarot card reading with the astrology. And so I'll be going through each sign and choosing one card for each new moon. So if you're familiar with the tarot, you know the wonderful wisdom, the enlightenment that you can gain from the cards. 78 cards in a traditional tarot deck with 22 major arcana. If you don't know the tarot, don't worry about that at all. You can certainly see the images, and I will be explaining what the energies mean. So what we've got here, we can always trust the cards. It works through synchronicity, just like the as above, so below of astrology. And so here we have the card that represents clarity of emotions and bringing forth a new vision. So this is the symbol that's come up for you. So I hope you do enjoy these readings. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to interact with me and the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. Okay. Hi, this is Tara Green. I'm Agent 129 for the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, and we're going to do a tarot reading for the new moon, the Pisces solar eclipse, which falls on March the 8th to the 9th, 2016. So some of you are more familiar with the wisdom of the tarot. It's a system of enlightenment which does incorporate, in this major, you can see old deck that I use called the Thoth deck, astrology into the 22 major arcana or trumps of the tarot. So for Aries, I'm going to pick one card and let's see what that is. Okay, so this card is called the Ace of Discs, and the aces are always beginnings. They're always like the acorn. So the full potential of any situation is combined in the ace. So for Aries, all of this Pisces solar eclipse energy happens in your unconscious. If we're dealing with solar astrology here, your planetary ruler Mars is still in Sagittarius, so there is this sense of a new education, new adventures, new striving to learn new things. So everything happening in your unconscious may be a bit overwhelming for you emotionally at this time, but treat yourself with beginner's mind. I think that's the best way to approach this. All right, and now we're going to go to Taurus. So for Taurus, the Pisces overload of the March 8th, 9th solar eclipse happens in your 11th house. Okay, so let's see what we can... so Taurus gets the Hermit. Now this is a major arcana. The Hermit is like the sign of Virgo, so very earthy. We're staying with the earth element. So the Hermit is about withdrawing into yourself, listening to your own gut instincts, which Taurus is very good at anyway, but maybe really reserving your judgment until you feel right. Taurus tends to do that anyway. It's a time to re-examine your motives, what's growing for you, and really this is about retracting anything that hasn't been working for you so far. So we're kind of going back to the drawing board here. We are in a number 9 year numerologically in 2016, so this puts you in harmony with the elements. What do you need to clean up in terms of your own act here? The Hermit speaks its truth. The Hermit is very expedient. It doesn't use more. So whereas Taurus is usually very sensuous, this is about reserving your tools, reserving your money, reserving your qualities, and keeping them close to your chest. Okay, and now Gemini, we're going to look at your forecast for the new moon, which is the Pisces solar eclipse, March the 8th to the 9th. And all of that Pisces overload happens in your 10th house of world success and career. So I'm going to pick one card from the deck here. Okay, now this looks very interesting. Now, this is the card of the 10 of discs, and disc represents earth in the tarot. And as you can see, there's a lot of gold in this. So literally the card says wealth on it, and this is where you accumulate all the goodies. This is where you collect your wins. This is where you cash in big. So I would say, Gemini, that all of the ideas and all of the discipline and the learning that, of course, Geminis that are born in the first half of Sagittarius have been going through with Saturn, this is the time where you start to manifest those ideas instead of flitting around all over the place like you usually do. This will help you to go forward in your career, in your job. So you should have a lot of confidence. So you should be feeling strong physically. So do whatever it is you need to do to take care of your health, to take care of your diet, to make you feel confident. You know, stand in front of that mirror and see yourself as being totally valuable and worthwhile, and that you have everything you already need. You already have all the gold within. So go for it. Okay, so for Cancer, for this new moon, the Pisces solar eclipse, March 8th, March the 9th, I'm going to pull a tarot card for you. So I'm shuffling the cards. So for Cancer, of course, all of this Pisces energy is very positive for you. It makes a great trine for you. All right, now, so what we've got here. This is the Princess of Swords. So if you're familiar with the tarot, this is what they call a court card, but it's a very special one. The princesses always represent physical earth manifestation, and swords represents the mind. So this is the cutting through of a lot of old emotional traps and barriers. You know, Cancers, you know, you are always very devoted to taking care of everybody. So this is where, you know, you may say, you know, is this out of balance? Am I overdoing it? Am I smothering too much? So this is where you need to cut off some ties and to, I would say, give back to yourself. I would say that your own unconscious, you know, this eclipse falls in the 9th house solar wise, and you need to give back to yourself. You know, are you sleeping well? Are you dreaming well? Are you paying attention to your dreams? What needs to be nurtured within yourself? I think you tend to forget, because you're always so busy taking care of everybody else, to also take care of yourself. Leo, next sign, Pisces, new moon, solar eclipse, March the 8th to the 9th. I am going to pull a tarot card for you, Leos, and this Pisces overload, all of that emotions and all of that unconscious energy falls in your 8th house, which is Scorpio-like. So lots of transformation here. So let's see what that looks like. Ah, okay, let me have the card of the Empress. So if you're familiar with the tarot, this is one of the 22 major arcanas of the tarot. It is the number 3. The Empress is like the planet Venus. So lots of love transformations here in general. The Empress, she is the goddess. If you're a woman, Leo, if you're needing to nurture yourself, mother yourself, or if it's about fertility, if you're wanting to get pregnant, this would be a very auspicious time, I would say, at this Pisces solar eclipse for you. But in general, pregnant with anything, with love, with beauty, with creativity, with bonding with other women, with creating women's circles. You know, this is a new moon, and so we're starting new intentions here. I would say that this is very good. The Empress brings many blessings to all the Leos. So to embrace your inner goddess, you know, she is the lioness for Leos. So that feminine side of you, maybe you need to tone it down a little bit. You know, you are going to be inundated with all that water. Maybe it's about learning to love yourself on a deeper level. Okay, so now we're moving on to Virgo for this Pisces new moon solar eclipse, March 8th to 9th. So of course, Virgo, all of this Pisces overload happens in your 7th house of relationships and how you go out into the world. So let's see what the tarot has to say for you. Okay. All right, now, this is the 5 of discs. If you're not familiar with the tarot, discs means earth, and of course, Virgos are very earthy. And as you can see on the card, or maybe you can't see it, it says worry, something that Virgos are very, very good at. So, in a sense, the cards are saying this Pisces eclipse may bring out more worry about relationships, but also the 5s are a kind of testing period. So maybe you have to test out, you know, the content, the practicality, the reality of your relationships, because of course we're dealing with Pisces, you know. And one of the major keynotes, of course, of this eclipse is also what's real and what isn't. So for a lot of you Virgos, that may be being drawn in by this Pisces, the fantasy, the soulmate, the dream lover. This may be a bit of a rude awakening, but maybe a good thing. Okay, Jupiter is in your sign, the North Node is in your sign. Jupiter is opposite this Pisces eclipse, and you're squared by Saturn. So I would think, yes, it could be worrying. There could be a lot of responsibilities, a lot of shit has hit the fan here. You know, if you haven't paid your taxes then, or done anything properly, then this is the time when you're going to have to stop and face the consequences. All right, now for the Pisces solar eclipse, March 8th to 9th, this big new moon here for Libra. Now, you're usually all about relationships, and this one falls in your 6th house of work and health and service. So let's see what the tarot has to say to you. Okay, now, These are big oversized cards. They're quite used, as you can see. Now, this is a very good card. It is the 9 of discs. Disc is earth. It's practical, it's physical, it's reality, and the 9s represent completion. Now, in the card, it does have Venus in Virgo, actually. So for you, I would say that this is a time of expansion, a time of really coming into your own. This is a time when you're going to be seeing that every little nuance that you make has an effect. You're going to see how things blend together, how everything is connected to everything else. So, you know, I know you're usually a social butterfly. This could be a time when things really pay off for you. Expanding your imagination, your creativity. You know, Pisces is very dreamy, very expansive. I would say this is a great time. It's time to collect in and maybe finish off some projects that you've got. If you've got too many things on the go, to stop at this new moon, very powerful time, and recollect what you've been doing and to begin to plan new things with a lot of confidence. Okay, Scorpio, for the new moon, the Pisces solar eclipse, March 8th and 9th. This Pisces overload falls in your 5th house of creativity and of love affairs. So, you know, Scorpios are known to be big lovers and very sexy. So here's what you've got here, the card of emotional abundance. So this is totally appropriate for you, Scorpios. All of this water, you know, there's so many planets in Pisces at this new moon. There should be unending, overflowing bliss, creativity, abundance on all levels. There should be lovers coming out of your ears. So also, if you're in a creative field, this is very good. Lots of inspiration. We're dealing with Pisces. Lots of new dreams, lots of cooperation. This is all really good for you. I would say really rely on your imagination at this time more than ever. So you should be feeling really fantastic. The 3s are always a very nice balance here. So it's time to taste the fruits of the goodness of life. Really feel that you're at the center of your universe right now and that you're transforming in a very deep way into your highest potential. So Sagittarius, for the new moon, the Pisces solar eclipse, March 8th and 9th, you know, Saturn and Mars are both in your sign, Sagittarius, and the eclipse falls in your 4th house, which is your most private house of yourself, your deepest, innermost secret house. So let's see what the tarot has to say for you. Now, okay, another ace here. So this is the Ace of Swords. Now, the aces are the pure potential of everything that is to follow. The aces are like the acorn. So the oak tree is already imminent, already embedded in the DNA of the acorn. Now, so for Sagittarius, this is a time of you really pulling in to your deepest roots, listening to your ancestors, listening to your dreams, really connecting with the deepest roots of source energy here. It's extremely creative, very powerful. I would say this is setting you on a brand new 18-year course. Your planetary ruler, Jupiter, is in Virgo, opposite this, and then Saturn and Sag is squaring this. So for you, this is a very pivotal time for you to recollect everything that you know, really go deep, deep, deep into the roots of your unconscious to source energy and bring your dreams out into the world through writing, through ideas, through speaking. So for Capricorn, for the Pisces solar eclipse, March 8th and 9th, the new moon with the Pisces overload. For you, Capricorns, well, you know, you've been in the cardinal grand crosses and the T-squares, and so this falls in your 3rd house of communication. So let's see what the tarot has for you now. Okay, this is a major arcana. If you're not familiar with the tarot, there are 22 major trumps or archetypes in it, and this is one of them. This is the number 8. Now, the number 8 is the symbol of infinity, and it is like the sign of Libra. You can see there's the scales of justice, the sign of Libra. It is usually called justice. In my deck, it's called adjustment. So what is it you need to adjust in your life right now, Capricorn, in the way you speak, in terms of the way you communicate? And this could be all your communications. You know, the 3rd house has to do with siblings, with colleagues, with your local community, and maybe a lot of short journeys. Now, so this Pisces overload for you, Capricorn, it is complementary to your earth signs. You know, maybe you're a bit too focused on the earth plane. So this is the time when you start to begin to trust your imagination, to listen to your dreams, to really feel that sense that you are still a spiritual being, even though you're still very much in the corporal world, and to rely on your dreams. Be careful though about investing, because Pisces energy can be the too good to be true. So anything that seems a little bit too good to be true, I would say wait. You have to stay in balance, so weigh both factors out. Okay, so Aquarius, for the Pisces solar eclipse, March 8th to 9th, the new moon. This eclipse falls in your second house of your own self-worth, your self-esteem, your values, your resources, what you have and what you own. Okay, now let's see what the tarot has to say for you. Okay, so here we have what they call a court card. It's a personality card. There are 16 of these in the tarot. And this is the Prince of Discs, and you can see it's Taurus energy. So for Aquarius, you need to get your practical tools and resources together. You need to organize everything you have on the physical realm, from resources, money, health, everything that you can bring to the table, and account for it and make it very matter of fact and very practical. So you may have to kind of show what you can do. You may have to demonstrate in a very slow, pragmatic way. So it is also a sense of maybe you need to take care of your body a bit. Aquarius people tend to be a little bit up in their heads all the time. You're still under that Uranian energy. So maybe stop at this new moon and really reassess what you need in terms of your comfort zone. Taurus energy is very sensuous. Maybe you need to give yourself a nice massage. Maybe you need to really ground yourself. You need to walk out on the land. So I would really take this time to get into your body and really ground your dreams with your physical intent. So for the Pisces solar eclipse, new moon, March 8th to 9th. Pisces, of course, you're the huge star of the show here, with so many planets in Pisces. The South Node, the Sun, the Moon, Neptune, Mercury, Ceres, Chiron. So let's see what you've got, Pisces. Since this is very much a very big beginning for you, let's consult the wisdom of the tarot. Okay. And here we get the Eight of Discs. Now this is a very pragmatic energy. It actually shows the Sun in Virgo, which would be the opposite, like a full moon. So where is your personal, physical manifestation that you can bring forward from this Pisces solar eclipse? Now a solar eclipse is always a new beginning consciously. You have to walk your talk. You have to prove that you've got the goods. Jupiter is in Pisces, directly opposite this eclipse, with the North Node there too. So this is very much a karmic time for you to manifest your dreams, to walk your talk, to be the healer, to be the leader, to be the person who brings your words, your ideas, your practical applications to the world, to inspire the world, to bring your dreams forward. So we need you to reach into the source and bring your dreams out into the world. Go slowly. All of the different branches that you have, you need to let them blossom. So plan now for what you're going to harvest in the next 18-year cycle.